Let's start class. All right, so our first exercise, we're going to just sit in a comfortable position. We're going to observe the breath while we're seated, okay? So I just want you to breathe normally and feel where your breath is coming from. Is it coming from your ribs? Is it coming from your diaphragm? Is it coming from your chest or your shoulders? Do you have a deep breath or do you have a shallow breath? Just breathe normally and observe all these things. Maybe for a couple more breaths here. And on the next inhale, I would like for you to inhale for a count of 3. Hold at the top and then exhale for a count of 3. Okay, so inhale, 1, 2, 3. Hold, exhale, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3. Do it on your own breath. All right. And on the next exhale, we're just going to place our hands onto our knees, roll our shoulder blades down our back, and sit up as tall as possible, really elongating that neck. So now I want you to breathe in for a count of 5. Hold at the top, and then breathe out for a count of 5, okay? So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope you exhaled that time. All right, so 2 more times. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe one more time. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now let's breathe normally. And I would like for you to just observe your breath for just a couple of breaths here. Did it get deeper or did it get more shallow? Do you feel your breath in your ribs or still in your chest and shoulders? Just close your eyes and really focus on your breath. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and bring our legs out long, straight. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We're going to bring our hands down by our sides, rolling those shoulder blades down our back. We're going into staff position. I just love this position because it really helps you observe your body. Breathing in, we're going to breathe out and press our kneecaps towards the floor. It's going to lift your heels a little bit, hopefully. And just breathe here, 3 breaths. I like for you to breathe out of your nose, in through your nose. Breathe through your nose. And on the next exhale, go ahead and release those heels down to the ground. Relax your knees, and we're going to bring our hands up and over, breathing in, breathing out, folding over. We're going to do 3 to 5 breaths in this forward fold. So every time I breathe in, I'm looking up, straightening my back. Every time I breathe out, I'm folding over just a little more. 4 more times. Through our nose. And maybe one more time. Lifting and lowering. And on the next inhale, let's inhale all the way up. Great job. Awesome. All right. So now I would like to do more stretching. We're gonna pull one knee in. Okay? One leg is long, the other knee is bent. We're gonna hug that knee in with the opposite hand. So the arm that's over that straight leg is gonna hug that bent leg, while the one that is on the bent leg we're gonna put behind us, okay? So breathing in, elongating, breathing out, looking behind you. 3 more breaths. Alright, on the next exhale, come back to center. We're going to release that leg down and do the same thing on the other side, pulling that knee in. So the arm that's over the straight leg is going to hug the knee in, while the arm that's over the bent leg is going behind you. Okay, breathing in, lifting up, breathing out, looking behind you. 3 more breaths here. And on the next exhale, come back to center. We're going to release those legs down long. Well, actually, we're going to bend those knees. So both knees are up. Hands are behind you. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So this is to stretch our abs. Fingertips are pointed towards you. Feet are hip width apart, looking straight ahead. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we lift those hips up as high as we can. Release your head and neck behind you. We're going to feel this in our shoulders. We're going to feel this in our abs a little bit. If you can go up a little higher. 3 more breaths. Maybe with every exhale, you might be able to lift up a little higher. And then on the next exhale, come all the way down. Whew. All right, let's flip all the way over onto our hands and knees. Awesome. So here we're going to actually do some cat-cows, just because I love cat-cows in my yoga practice no matter. So breathing in, our belly drops down towards the ground. We're going to look up, and as we breathe out, we're pressing our back up, and we're looking in towards our belly button. Breathing in, looking up, breathing out, looking in. Let's do this 3 more times with your own breath. And on the next exhale, let's come to a neutral back. We're actually going to bring 1 foot forward. So I know that it's really hard for y'all to get your foot in between your hands. So if it gets stuck here, you can always lift your foot up and place it right in between your hands. Okay, let me do the other side, just so you can see me, sorry. All right, so we're gonna place both hands on the inside of your foot, okay? If you're right here, if you're feeling the stretch here, stay right here. But if you want to go a little deeper, we're going to bend our elbows and try to place our forearms onto the ground, okay? Just stretching those legs that we just exercised. Feels so good. 3 more breaths. Releasing your head and neck, just relaxing in the pose. Hips are towards the floor. And on the next exhale, go ahead and sit all the way up. Place your hands down on the ground, and we're going to bring that leg out behind us. Now let's do that to the other side. Lifting that foot in between your hands. We're going to bring both hands on the inside of that foot. We can stay here if that's where you're at today. That's totally okay. If you're here, let's focus on releasing those hips down towards the ground. But if you want to go onto your forearms, We're just gonna relax our head and neck and breathe here 3 times. Just trying not to focus too much on the intense stretch. One more breath here. And then let's go ahead and place our hands on the ground, lift up, and bring that foot behind us. All right, so knees are gonna go a little wider than our hips. Feet are flat on the ground, the tops of our feet, and we're sitting back into our child's pose. So in child's pose, you can either press your hands into the mat to get a low back stretch, or pull your hands out in front of you like you're clawing up to get a shoulder stretch. Just release and relax in the position. Maybe 2 more breaths. And on the next exhale, we're going to come all the way to our bellies. Awesome. All right, so here I would like for you guys to stretch your arms out in front of us. We're just going to go for a fly. So this is a really active stretch. Well, maybe it's not a stretch. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out, lift our hands, and lift our feet. 3 breaths in the position, really activating our whole back side and a little bit of our front side. 2 more breaths. Watch out, there's a cloud, there's a bird, there's a plane. And release your hands in front of you, and then really relax your face on your hands for a second. Great job. The next stretch is a bit of a challenge, so if you just want to watch, I'm totally okay with that. We're going to bend our knee and act like we're kicking our own bum, right? We're going to reach around with that same side hand, and we're going to do that to both sides, okay? Reaching around, grabbing our ankles. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we press our ankles into our hands. This is going to open our chest, lift up our legs, and we're looking forward. 2 breaths here. All right, on the next exhale, you can release those knees down, relax your feet down, just relax for a moment. Ooh, that was really great. All right, place your hands under your shoulders. We're coming into an up dog. Breathing in, breathing out, we're just lifting the top half of our body, okay? Looking up. I'm gonna breathe 3 times here. And on the next exhale, tuck those toes, lift those hips into our first downward facing dog. All right, so I walk my feet forward a little bit. I'm driving my heels down, but if your heels don't touch the ground, that's totally okay. Breathing in, pressing my palms into the ground, breathing out, releasing my head and neck. Three more breaths here. Great job, everybody. All right, on the next exhale, let's lift that leg, and then we're gonna pull it forward, placing it right in between those hands. Once again, if it gets stuck, you can pick it up and place it forward, right? So we're actually going to find our balance, placing our hands on our knee, finding that balance. You might want to put that foot at a 45-degree angle, just for a little more balance, okay? Breathing in, breathing out, we're gonna lift those hands and look through those hands. Whenever we lift our hands, we're almost lifting that top half of our body, making sure the front knee is stacked on top of that ankle. 2 more breaths here. And on the next exhale, let's go ahead and place that back foot down. at a 90-degree angle. We're gonna point both feet together, right, towards the same direction. Legs are straight, hands on our hips, breathing in, being super tall. And as we breathe out, make sure you bend those knees a little bit and fold forward. So we can stay here with our hands on our hips, or we can bring our fingers towards our toes, or we can fold our arms and relax and just go side to side. Or stay in the center and place your hands on the ground. One more breath here because you don't want to be upside down too long. And on the next exhale, place your hands on your hips, bend those knees, and roll all the way up. Great job. Now we're going to face the other side, pointing the other leg forward. The back leg can be at a 45-degree angle, or you can lift it up onto the ball of your foot. So this front knee needs to be bent, stacked right on top of your ankle. Breathing in, breathing out, lifting those hands up. Warrior one. 3 breaths here. Making sure that front knee's bent. One more breath. And then we're going to go ahead and step forward. Awesome! Great job. Great job, everybody. All right, so now let's go ahead and we're going to have our feet a little wider than hip width apart, and we're just actually going to sit down. Okay, so my hands automatically go here, but I want to bring my elbows on the insides of my knees. Hands are pressed together. Breathing in, sitting up a little bit, and breathing out, I'm pressing my elbows into my knees, and we're gonna feel this in our legs. 3 breaths here. On the next exhale, let's go ahead and release our hands and sit down. Whew. We can sit in a comfortable position, and we're just going to do one more breathing exercise, okay? So I place my hands on my knees, and we're going to activate our Ujjayi breath, which is ocean breathing. This is where we only breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. If you have a stuffy nose, then maybe you just observe, okay? So as we breathe, we're going to try to constrict the back of our throat. So it's going to sound like the ocean in our ears, okay? So the constricting feeling is as if you were fogging up a glass, like, and maybe I'll practice that so you can feel how it is to constrict the back of your throat. So now let's try to just breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. All right, so 3 more breaths just like that. Breathing in and out. I don't know if you can hear my ocean, but it's pretty loud to me. All right, just give me 1 second, hold on. Drives me crazy, I can't see the time. Okay. So that was really great. So if you would like to try that Ujjayi breath for the rest of your practice, then that's totally up to you guys. But now that you know how it feels to constrict the back of your throat, and you know how it feels to breathe in and out of your nose, I would implore you to try to do that throughout your whole practice. Now, let's lift one knee up, and we're going to bring the other foot a little further under us. We can stay here, or we can bring that foot all the way around that knee. Wherever you're at today, know yourself, right? We're going to go ahead and hug that knee in, and then place the back hand behind us. Breathing in, sitting up, breathing out, looking behind us. So we can either hug it in or we can hook it with that elbow. 3 more breaths here. And on the next exhale, let's go ahead and bring both hands all the way to the other side. And a little bit of a counter twist. Now, since we're already here, we're going to try to go into our cow position. So we're bringing this foot out a little bit, placing both knees on top of each other, and we can hook our big toes, roll those shoulder blades down your back, and we're just going to sit up as tall as possible. I'm feeling this in my glute, but maybe y'all feel some other stretch because everybody's different. All right, just 2 breaths in this position. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna switch sides. So back into my cross-legged position. I'm going to lift up the other knee, place it on the outside of the bent knee leg, pull that foot a little further underneath me, and we can either stay here or we can bring that foot all the way to the other side of the knee. All right, we can hug this knee in, or we can hook this knee, placing the back hand behind us. Breathing in, elongating. Breathing out, looking behind you. Maybe activating that Ujjayi breath. Two more breaths here. And on the next exhale, we're going to bring ourselves forward. We're going to drop this knee. So bringing our foot a little to the side, dropping our knees. And then we're going to hold on to our big toes, rolling those shoulder blades down our back. Sitting up as tall as possible. 3 breaths in this cow position. All right, and on the next exhale, let's go ahead and bring both legs out in front of us. Shake them out a little bit. That was a really good leg stretch. Let's go ahead and lay all the way down. And upon arriving to the ground, we're going to pull our knees in and hug our knees in. We can rotate our ankles a little bit. Two more breaths here. All right, and on the next exhale, let's go ahead and release one leg out long. All right, on the next exhale, let's bring this knee across the body. And we're doing a twist, so we're trying to keep both shoulders on the ground. We're reaching behind us with that back hand while we reach in front of us with the front hand. We're gonna look behind us and just relax in the position. So my back shoulder is lifted up off the ground a little bit, and that's okay as long as you're trying to bring both shoulders to the ground. Two more breaths here. And on the next exhale, let's go ahead and sit or roll all the way back. We're going to keep this knee bent, and we're going to bring the other leg and place it as a figure 4. So we can stay here if this is where you're at today, or we can pull this knee in and hold behind the knee. Breathing in, breathing out, just feeling that stretch in the glute and the upper thigh. Two more breaths here. Feeling the stretch. And on the next exhale, go ahead and place that foot on the ground. Both feet come down. And we're actually going to hug those knees in one more time. Okay, thank you. Can you still see me though?
Say it again?
Can you still see me?
Yeah, we can still see you. You're good.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna release the leg that we didn't do before, pulling that knee in. 2 breaths. And then bringing that knee across the body, reaching behind us with that back arm while we reach in front of us with that front arm, looking behind us. One more breath. All right, let's go ahead and lift that up. We're going to place that knee down, put the other ankle onto the other knee, and we can stay here or we can pull it in, just feeling that stretch. 2 breaths here. All right, so now I'd like for you to bring both legs all the way down to the ground. Let your feet fall to the sides. We can close our eyes, place one. Actually, I want you to place both hands on your belly. I want you to observe your breath for a moment. Just feel how you're breathing. Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing deep? Do you feel it in your ribs? Do you feel it in your abdomen? Do you feel it in your chest or shoulders? Just a couple of breaths, observing the breath. Are you breathing in through your nose or through your mouth? All right, now I would like to try some belly breathing. This is where we breathe in through our nose and we blow up our belly on the inhale. As we exhale, we're going to press that belly button down, trying to extinguish all of the breath. Okay, so breathing in, you see how my belly lifts up, and as we breathe out, we're going to press down our belly button, activating those abs. So 3 more breaths just like that. You want to lift your hands up a little more from that belly, and then pressing that belly button in towards the spine. Maybe 1 more breath just like that. And then I would like for you to just observe the breath 1 more time, relaxing, closing your eyes, and just letting the sounds of the day pass you by. Don't even worry about it. Just relax into the ground. All right, and on the next inhale, let's lift our arms over our head, wiggling our fingers, wiggling our toes. We can slowly turn over onto one side, pause for a second, and then lift all the way up. Thank you so much for joining me in your breath and stretch practice today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and you feel rejuvenated, and namaste.